Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that red light. Thank you, everyone, for coming on. This is so exciting. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Sissy. So thank you for coming on. Kim and I were discussing a week or two ago about 2018, and we sort of jokingly coined the phrase "Dare to Dream" in 2018, and this sort of came from it. But I think that this is just a great way to talk about what we do, why we do it, and how hopefully we're going to make it an awesome year and maybe inspire you to make it an awesome year as well. So my name is Julie Dyer, and I'm a sales coordinator with the Juice Plus company. And I started, I heard about it from my friend Karen about a year and a half ago at a pool party. And it made complete sense to me from the minute that I heard about it. So as a working mom of two, I knew that this was something that I wanted to get whole food nutrition into my daughters immediately, since we were pretty much eating a beige food diet. Everything was organic, but it was still cheese and bread and pizza and chicken fingers, you name it. It was beige, they were eating it. So I knew that it's something that I wanted to get into my daughter's system right away. And then as a classically trained chef, I know the role that raw fruits and vegetables play in diet and well-being. So I said, I think this is for me. And then I found out Juice Plus is just food. So I said, sign us up, and jumped in with both feet before I even really knew what was happening. And the immediate changes for my family were drastic and awesome. My 3-year-old at the time, Reese, had terrible respiratory issues and bronchial issues, and within about 6 months, she was not coughing and didn't have a runny nose all the time. My husband, who works in sheet metal, was going to the chiropractor to get adjusted weekly, and that has stopped. And for me, myself, when I started with the product and our Shred 10 program, which is just a 10-day detox program that we do once a month, over about a 6-month period, I was able to lose 25 pounds. So it just completely changed the picture of my health. I was sleeping better, eating better. I had more energy, and most importantly, I was a better mom. So it was a win-win-win for me and my family. And as soon as I found out this company's mission was to inspire healthy living around the world, I knew that I had to be a part of it. It was something that spoke to me immediately, and I knew that I wanted to be sort of an ambassador just to get food and healthy food into people's systems. And, I didn't know what it was going to be for me in the beginning. In the beginning, I was like, maybe I'll cover my costs and that'll be perfect. And then month after month, someone says, oh my God, Julie, I'm shopping in the cute section of the store again, or I haven't had to use my allergy meds in a few months, or I'm going to cry, but sometimes just people say thank you. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this. And so something that I was just thinking, maybe I'll cover my costs, has turned into something so much more. And I think hopefully soon it'll be a vehicle for me to get home with my daughters, who are 5 and 7, and that I don't get to spend a lot of time with. So I think that it's just become this amazing vehicle that I think is gonna get me home to my girls and just continue on this journey of being a better mom. So thank you so much for being here.
I love that, Julie. And I just remember, I think it was September, October, and it was school shopping season, and you had missed out on that opportunity because of, just...
I was going to screen share the picture, but I don't really know how to screen share that well. But It's a picture of my girls at the beauty salon, and they got their hair cut and blown out, and my mom had taken them. So I said to Kim, please let this be the last year that someone else takes my daughters to get haircuts for school. So
yeah, and that's really when Julie and I decided that we can't hold this message back any longer, because that was the moment. I remember, Julie, you said that, Kim, I'm going to dare to dream. Like, that's not happening to me again. So
right.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Julie.
Thank
love your
you.
story. Love your passion. And yeah, so inspiring. So inspiring. Okay, Andrea, we're going to turn it over to you.
Hi guys, my name's Andrea LaPlante. I'm a National Marketing Director with the Juice Plus Company, and I'm also a health coach with the Dr. Sears Wellness Institute. And it was tough to go after Julie just now. I got a little worked up because the whole reason that I'm sharing this, and I've realized so much about myself, you know, I'm hardworking, I'm driven. I had a career before I had my family, and I always had these goals and I had these pictures of myself striving toward things. That's just what I like to do. I'm an athlete, so I like to conquer things and get to the next level and just feel really accomplished and independent. I've been fiercely independent. And then I had my family. And I fell in love like I had never experienced before, as you do when you're a mom and a dad, and my whole world changed. So my story is I grew up as an athlete. My mom was a nurse, always talked about prevention. She was very forward thinking. And I thought I was super healthy. I was kind of one of those cocky people that thought, well, I'm an athlete. I work out. I eat my fruits and vegetables. I think I'm doing pretty well. Until I had my 3 children. And meanwhile, I wasn't as healthy as I could have been. I had severe sinusitis, chronic allergies that I thought it was just normal. Everybody has something. But it was really getting to the point where I had gone to a holistic doctor. I had these crazy shots. I had done a lot of work on my system, tried to do it holistically, and nothing was really working for me. So flash forward, I get married, and I have these 3 beautiful children. And I had a huge wake-up call in my family where I had 3 children, age 5 and under, and my middle guy overdosed on isolated vitamin supplements. And it was such a wake-up call for me. And my first reaction was panic. It was anger. It was, I was confused. I was looking for answers. I couldn't understand why there was a poison control number, a warning label. I had to use that number. And after looking in and doing research, there were over 51,000 calls made to poison control centers in 2008, and some of those were fatalities. But I'm lucky to say, and I'm so grateful, I'm blessed and honored, and that's part of the reason why I'm so passionate about this, that my son is thriving and he's fine. But I do think there's a disconnect there. And once I found Juice Plus, I was really angry that I hadn't heard about it sooner. Like, why haven't I heard about this? Why did I have to go through something like that and have that kind of a scare in my family to find out there's whole food nutrition in the capsule that would not be toxic or harmful to my family. So added it to our diet as peace of mind. Remember, I told you I thought I was super healthy, and it completely changed the picture of our health. No more allergy meds, sinusitis reversed. This didn't happen overnight. Over time, our immune systems became strong, strengthened, balanced. We became educated. I became a health coach, and I really fell in absolute love with this company, the mission to reverse disease in this country, because we have a disease management system, not a healthcare system. The fact that our children are sick and have these diseases that they know they should not have, and people are spending so much money on medications that are not getting to the root problem, but is causing people a lot of financial and health distress. So I really, when I find something that I love, you can't tear me away from it. And I just feel like an ambassador, like Julie said, I have to let everybody know. But I would like to share, I did have a corporate career. I worked for Fox Sports for 8 years. I loved my job. I had a great boss. It was a great opportunity. I have a degree in communications. But after I had my children, I didn't want to go back. I did not want to go back to a commute. I didn't want to have a boss, even though I had a good one. I didn't want to have to ask for time off. And once I had my children, I didn't want to leave them. My husband's been traveling for 25 years. Who would raise our family? And it just wasn't worth it to me to leave them if I didn't have to. But I felt like I was at a crossroads. I really didn't want to settle. And at the time, my children were starting to get into activities, and my daughter, who's an equestrian, became extremely competitive. And the only way to fulfill that dream, I knew, is I was going to have to go get a job, but I didn't want to be away from my family to do that. I remember when I started with Juice Plus, it was a no-brainer. It completely changed the picture of our health. So in the last 6 years, no antibiotics, no over-the-counter meds, no doctor's visits, only well checks. My family of 5 in 6 years, which is amazing in itself. But the business opportunity, it gave me my life back. I was a professional. I was a successful professional. There was a ladder that I climbed. I felt very good about where I was, but then I had to leave the workforce to raise amazing humans, but get penalized for it. Because if I were to go back into that workforce, I certainly wasn't going to make the income that I was making. And that wasn't worth it to leave my children. And I just really felt stuck. But I was starting to feel really sad because I liked that feeling of accomplishing things. When I realized that there was an opportunity that I could gain my financial independence, I could take the burden financially off my family, I could grow something, I could be and show my children what it's like to be an entrepreneur. And not only are they watching me, they can eventually join me at some point, but my children would go to school and say, hey, Mom, have a good day. When they'd come in, they'd say, Mom, did you get that promotion? And I'd say, yeah, I got it. And they'd high five me and say, so what's the next one? What's the next one? And you're doing so great, Mom. This is amazing. Like, you're building this business. And I'm like, absolutely. So I looked at this as a way to show my kids that there's no settling in life and they have no excuses, which can sometimes be a blessing and a curse in my family, because they're like, oh, Mom's not going to let us say we can't do something. I'm like, no, you can. You work hard. You set your mind to something. You find the right opportunity and your heart's in it and you're passionate and you're doing good in the world. What really sold me on this was the vision of this company to make a difference in the world. The philanthropy of giving back to the world is huge for me. It's a product with purpose, and my values align with that. I just feel like there's so much more that we can do in the world. There's so much more that we can give, but why do I have to sacrifice myself, my family, and my finances to be part of something like that? So this is like this perfect gift wrapped in a bow, and we get to work with the most dynamic, amazing community. Look at the people on this website. I mean, we can talk to people from around the world in a day, multiple times a day, meeting new people, new energy, more empowering spirits, and just make a huge impact in the world. So I am so blessed and honored to be part of this call tonight. And I have to say, you know, reaching a goal and having your family be part of it, there's nothing better. So there's no settling in my family. Sky's the limit. And the reason that I started this, I forgot to even say, I wanted to cover costs because I wasn't earning money at the time. I didn't want that burden on my family, but it really became to support my daughter's equestrian career. And I have to show you this picture because we're actually looking at colleges right now. But this is her, and this is what she's doing. And she says every day, Mom, and of course my husband supports us as well, but she said, because of what you're doing, I can realize my dream, and I can't thank you enough for that. And as a woman, as a role model, showing her that I took the bull by the horns, and not only am I financially showing her what can be in life, but I'm showing her that I'm making a difference at the same time. And that's the part that really, there's nothing better than that. So I tried to put a timer on. I don't want to go over my time, but thank you for your time tonight. This is the most incredible opportunity. I really feel like it's a grassroots movement of making the world a better place. And the more people that we get healthy, the more financially stable we are, and it's just a win-win all around. And the people that are doing this are doing things like creating dreams for their children, or staying home with their children, or paying for their children's colleges, or getting in an RV and going cross country. And it's families reliving and coming closer together. And my next goal is to retire my husband, who's been traveling and away from the family for 25 years. It's time to bring him home and to have us together again. So thank you so much, everybody. I loved seeing all your faces, and have a great night.
Great. Good. Beth Meyer, we're going to turn it over right to you.
Hi, everyone. Well, Andrea thought she had it tough following Julie, but I have to follow both of them. So definitely not easy acts to follow. I will say that. And one common theme that, we can definitely see here is that we're all moms and super passionate about being moms. And for me, that is first and foremost, highest on the list, and always will be. So I am a mom. I'm also a national marketing director with the Juice Plus company. And I was a high-level competitive gymnast. I got hurt when I was 16, 6 knee surgeries, career ender. I went on to college and to grad school, got my MBA, had a mortgage company right out of college. Right, and it was interesting for me. I did all the things that I guess we're supposed to do. And in the right order, I went to college, I went to grad school, I got married, got pregnant on my honeymoon. And then I bought a house. And then I got divorced, all in that order, all within 1 year. And so I found myself with a tiny baby, a mortgage company, no husband, and no source of income, because to this day, and I've now been divorced for 15 years, March will be 16 years that I am divorced, and my ex-husband's never given me a penny. So little challenging. So I moved from New York to Connecticut when my daughter was 4. And I was exhausted, like completely, totally not normal kind of exhausted. But there was one thing I was never going to compromise, and that was being a mom. That was the most important thing to me, was being a mom. And my daughter had started doing gymnastics, and I started homeschooling her so she could train. And I was also running my mortgage company, and ended up going to see a local functional medicine doctor because I was strangely tired. And at the time, I was eating 15 servings of raw, organic, vine-ripened vegetables 7 days a week. And I would eat, 10, 12, 15 servings a day because I was convinced I could kale and lemon juice my tiredness away. But it wasn't working. And this doctor recommended Juice Plus to me, and let's just say I was your typical New Yorker, not so open-minded, but I did leave that visit ordering Juice Plus, and I actually became a distributor because I knew that I had other people in my life. My brother was leaving for Iraq. The product just made sense to me after listening to her, and I knew that I didn't feel well and it couldn't hurt, that's for sure, but we didn't have health challenges. We didn't have health issues. It just made sense to me. And I knew that, I hate to say, but my gymnastics brain kind of kicked in, that partially anorexic brain that said, oh, nutrition without calories, this is brilliant. So not really being able to fit another pea on my plate, as they say, running a business and homeschooling and being a mom, I really didn't see how this business was going to happen. And I don't know if you can see my earrings, but they're diamond Mickey Mouse. And so dreaming is something that I never stopped doing, but I also never thought that freedom and flexibility and security and benefits and all of those things could be in one place and be the mom I want to be, and be able to say yes to the things I want to and no to the things I want to. So those weren't things I actually thought existed. And so I was sharing this business with people, and I was doing it here and there as I went because I was passionate about it. It did make sense to me, but I just didn't see how I could go from A to B. I didn't see how it could actually become something bigger. And in 2008, the mortgage industry started to shift. And 6 months before it crashed, I just had a Beth moment, is the only way I can describe it. And I decided to close my mortgage company long before this business was profitable. And I made a decision and put my blinders on that I was going to do this, that I saw other successful women doing this. I saw what they had created. I knew there were full benefits, and I needed that. And my daughter's schedule was getting more intense, and the mortgage industry was going really fast in a very bad direction. And I haven't looked back. It's been better than I could ever have imagined. And there have been bumps in the road, and there are things that I've had some personal health challenges, things totally out of my control, as sometimes we all do. I didn't have them early on, but I have had them recently. And I am so grateful that I had this business because I didn't have to miss a thing. I didn't, my paycheck continues to grow and continues to come in. I'm able to work around I was able to work around my schedule when I wasn't feeling great. I was able to navigate around that. Thankfully, that's behind me now. But if I didn't have this business, I don't know where we'd be. I don't know what life would have looked like if I had to ask for a day off, if I had to take disability leave, or any number of things that can happen when you're not in control of your life. So this has been a gift all the way around. And I have to say, partnering with a company whose core values align with your own is a total game changer. And that was another thing I never thought existed. I truly thought it was something that happened, you know, in Beauty and the Beast in a storybook with a nice happy ending. I really didn't think it was here in real life. And I can tell you this business has far exceeded anything I ever thought possible. I was able to hop on a plane the other day because my daughter was on a trip with a youth group and she said, "Mom, why don't you meet me in Disney?" And I thought, oh, why don't I meet you in Disney? Okay, I will. And that was great to be able to say yes. And Andrea actually mentioned that her children can join her one day in the business. And in 3 weeks, my daughter does get to join me in the business. And I am beyond excited to be able to add this dimension to our relationship and something that we can build together. And I truly could go on and on, but what I'll leave you with before I turn it over to one of my best friends that I would not have if it were not for this business. Kim and I did not know each other before this business, and I am so grateful for her friendship and having her in my life personally, professionally. I mean, she's been a gift. She's been one of the gifts that I've gotten from this business. I can just tell you, dare to dream, because anything is possible. You have everything you need inside of you. And, you know, why not you and why not now? Because you can start planning the rest of your life today, or you can stay right where you are. And I can tell you that when you're brave enough and courageous enough to dream, you have the world at your fingertips and you can create anything you want. So go chase those dreams because they're out there for you.
Yeah, I mean, what more is there really to say, right? With all of that. And what hopefully our goal of tonight was to really paint this vision for you that there's all walks of life, there's all backgrounds, there's all scenarios of people with, different lifestyles and different, when I went to my first conference, I just remember seeing the diversity and I was like, wow, if they can do it, I can do it. I just caught this vision. And I think what you've heard from both Julie, Andrea, and Beth is that all of us, when we talk about daring to dream, we all caught a vision for ourselves at one point. And so that's part of dreaming again, is really casting a vision of what is important to you in life. And I think we can probably all unanimously say that time freedom is really important, right? We want to have the time to choose to do the things that we love, because you might be in a career right now that you absolutely love, and that's great. But there comes a time, I'm sure, where there's other things that become important to you as well. And it's that time, and it's having that time freedom and flexibility to be able to do the job that you love when you want to do it, not when you have to do it. And that's called options and creating options. So where I found myself 9 years ago was in a situation where I enjoyed the work that I was doing, but I was time starved. And what I mean by that is that I was getting into a commute every day. And for those of you in Massachusetts, 128, I mean, can you feel my pain? I know some of you can. I mean, it's just, you have to navigate crazy. So it's that stress to start off in the morning, right? And the stress of getting my boys, ready for their day. My boys were 7 and 9 when I started having these thoughts in my head that maybe there's something else out there that can really, fit more in line with what I want in my life, what I desire in my life. So I was doing that commute. It was sitting in an office for 8-9 hours a day. And some days were good, some days were not so good. While I was getting a text one day, it was my absolute game changer from the nanny saying, we're having the best day by the pool today, and we've shot hoops, and we're having a blast. Hope you're having a good day too. And I just looked around my office and I'm like, there's something wrong with this picture that somebody else is by my pool shooting hoops with my boys, and I'm sitting in an office. And so for me, when I thought about getting back to what I said in the beginning, taking that blank canvas and saying, what do I really desire? What is important to me? And first and foremost, I wanted that time freedom. I wanted to be able to make decisions. I wanted to be the best snack lady and the best Uber driver for my boys. I wanted to be the person when they came home that I was the one that was, reading their face. Did they have a good day? Did they have a bad day? Where do they want to go? Cart them here to and from. And but I also loved the idea, as Andrea said, as a professional and as, I love to have something of my own. I didn't want to give that up as well. And part of what we have to offer with this type of a vehicle is that you can have both, right? You can have an absolutely thriving career, and you can also, in my case, what was important to me was to be home with my kids. Now, for some of you, it might be that you want to be able to travel more, right? Or you want to be able to volunteer more and give back to the communities and the organizations that you love, but maybe you don't have enough time, or maybe you don't have enough financial independence to be able to make those choices, to put your time and energy on the things that fulfill you and give you purpose. So I just really challenge all of you to just think about what's important to you, and just know that there is a vehicle like this, like we've explained to you tonight, that can help you design that life that you desire, whether it's in the next 3 years, 5 years. People are doing this part-time, full-time, anytime. It's really meant to be woven in. And I know some of the people that partner with me and my team, they're like, Kim, share your product story. You always forget. Because I get so fired up about this, this mission. So when I came to this, I was in a tough state with my kids. I was pumping them with 3 different asthma and allergy meds every single day. And I had been doing that since they were 1 year old. 9 months old and 1 month old. They were both diagnosed with asthma. And I didn't even recognize my 9-month-old when he was having a full-blown asthma attack, because I was in complete denial. I was like, how can I have 2 kids, with asthma? And so, we got into this just pattern, this routine of, brush your teeth and take your Singulair, Flovent, and albuterol. And I thought that that was normal. And so part of me, it's very much like Andrea, part of me is so excited about what this mission can do for lifestyle. But then the other part of me that gets me so fired up is that I want to correct the injustice of the pharmaceutical industry and the food industry of the state that we're in right now, right? I had no idea and no clue the connection between asthma and allergies. I didn't understand it was a compromised immune system. I wasn't like Beth. I wasn't eating 15 servings of raw fruits and vegetables every day. I was giving my kids Pop-Tarts and Goldfish. I was having ice cream every night for a job well done. Because I thought that as long as I was chopping and slicing the carrot and the apple, maybe having a little side salad, I thought that isn't that good enough? I didn't realize that foods were either building us up or tearing us down. So once I got this education and connection and incorporated my one simple change, all I did was add in Juice Plus into our diet. And our kids were part of the Children's Health Study where they got their product for free. That one simple change in 6 months changed our lives. My boys went from 3 medications every single day to being med-free. And we've been med-free for 8 years now, haven't touched one inhaler, haven't touched one antibiotic. And thanks, Kristen, isn't that awesome? Haven't touched one antibiotic. I'm like Andrea, where we give our kids well visit days where they can just take a day off of school once a year, just because they don't need to take any sick days. And so for me, I get a little angry, not more at the industry, because I'm a little frustrated with myself that I didn't look for answers earlier. For those 9 years, I just kind of bought into that medications are the way to go, right? You have a headache, you take an Advil. It's not like you look at, all right, why am I having a headache? Why do I have joint pain? Why is my gut a little unsettled today, right? We go to quick fixes. And so our community is all about just empowering people with education and information so that we can make better choices and that we can make one simple change of adding more fruits and vegetables into our diet. And if you're like me, when I went to my first presentation, I love always showing this visual. Andrea shows her horse visual. I show my fruit and vegetable visual. When I saw that visual, my wheels were naturally spinning about the people that I knew I was going to share it with. I couldn't keep this to myself. And I thought, maybe just maybe I can change some lives. Maybe just maybe this is going to be my vehicle to get me home. And that's exactly what it did. I more than replaced my full-time income in just a few years. It continues to grow. I surround myself with the absolute best community. It's, every day I just get to partner with the best people on the planet. And so we invite you. There's really one of 3 things that you can do with this information that you heard tonight. And hopefully you're all inspired, right? We invited a lot of you here tonight to just check out what we're up to, because maybe you're now inspired to know that you don't have to stay in whatever situation that you're in, right? Maybe you're inspired to say, well, maybe just maybe there's something out there for me. I don't know if it's this, but I'm not going to stay stuck, right? So that's your first option, is just, to leave here and be inspired to make a change, to dare to dream for 2018, as Julie likes to say. Your second option is hopefully embracing the Juice Plus habit. Do that one simple change, add it into your diet. And maybe think about people that you can connect us to, right? This is how we reach out to more people, is that, and some of you I know of our raving fan shredders as well. And I know Natalie's like, yes, March 5th, I'm ready. It's just simply sharing with other people what we're doing and being, connecting us to other people, expanding our reach. And that's another great place that you can be super helpful for us. And the third and best place, this is where I want to encourage all of you to go to, is just say yes. Just say yes to joining us and design this however you would want it to look like. The beauty of it is that there's no financial risk, there's no quotas and no inventory. So you can do as little or as much. You get to design this the way that you want it to look. You can help us make a bigger impact and maybe design that life that you desire as well. So I want to thank our speakers tonight for sharing. Julie, Andrea, and Beth. I'm like so fired up. It's so amazing to always lock arms with you and hear your stories. I've heard them several times, but it still just gets me going, and I just can't wait to reach more people. So we thank you. I'm going to actually stop the recording, but we'll absolutely stay on.